Hi, I'm Tori Hagaman. I recently did a full video on this painting. If you'd like to see it, I'll put a link in the description box below. But there was one lesson that I wanted to pull out of this painting just to share with you today, something quick, but it's something that I've struggled with so much, and that is getting a good background and foreground in a still life painting. I've really wrestled with that more than I think the objects themselves. One of the problems is I want to have a background that's interesting. I want something that the objects are going to stand out from it. But so often you have dark objects and light objects. So when you put in a single color, you know, things tend to disappear. So one of the things I was very intentional about with this painting was keeping good color harmony. When I first started painting, my paintings were all over the place. I would use 20 different colors. And my paintings weren't good. I didn't know what was wrong with them. And one of the main things that was wrong with them is I did not have good color harmony. So in thinking about this background, I wanted to go ahead and use again the colors I'd already used in this painting. Ultramarine Blue and Cad Orange are opposites on the color wheel, so I knew that was the clue that that could be a good combination. So I used those two colors mixed with white, and I came up with this background. If I'd used a little more orange, it would have been warmer, but I wanted it to be darker and cooler, so I added more blue to it. And I wanted it to be dark enough that the watering can wouldn't disappear into it, but I didn't want just a boring background. And I think by having this gradation of going from dark to light, I just added more and more white to my mixture. Because this was oil paint, that was really simple to do, and it was really easy for me to get a smooth transition. But if you're using acrylics, you can add a slow dry medium to your paints. But I love the effect of this. I love the color harmony, and I think it's so much more interesting than just having a solid color. So I was super pleased with that, and encourage you, when you're looking at your background, think about what colors can I use, or mix of colors can I use that are already in this painting. You could even pull one color out, and like, for example, you could have just used the ultramarine blue and started adding more and more white. It doesn't necessarily have to be a color combination, but I love the effect of combining those two colors. The other thing I wanted to show you, another place where I struggle, is the foreground. I feel like the foreground always looks so boring. I saw an artist on Pinterest, and she treated her foreground almost like it was water. You know how when you're painting water, you can kind of do your brush back and forth where it's kind of rippling in the water. Well, that's what she did with her tabletop. So I didn't do anything that extreme, but I did pull the color down that was in the pot. I took a soft brush and I began going back and forth, smoothing that transition, and then so I went from top to bottom, then I went from bottom to top. I started pulling the tabletop color back up into that reflection. If you're using acrylic paints, you'll need to add a slow dry medium, but I absolutely love the effect of that. I think it's very interesting, so much more interesting than most of my shadows typically look. I think the next painting I'm going to experiment a little bit more, get a little bit braver, and maybe add some other colors like she did into hers. But even with the shadows, I stayed with the same colors that I already have in the painting. I was tempted to add a little purple in, which is what I often do with my shadows. But again, I just wanted to keep that good color harmony, and I'm just super pleased with how this painting turned out. And I hope that gives you some creative ideas that you can try in your next painting. Hey, if you'd like to learn which colors are typically on my palette, if you go to my website, you can download a free short video that'll show you the different colors that I typically use and the different ways that I use them. It's kind of short and fun. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks a lot. God bless. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, I sure would appreciate a quick thumbs up. I'd love to read your comments. And if you'll hit subscribe, you'll be sure not to miss the next free video that's coming out soon. Thanks a lot.